What up, everybody? Welcome to Music Blueprint. Today, we are going to talk about how to make money on TikTok and how specifically to make over $1,000 a month on TikTok. Now, as most of you know, if you've seen any of my videos, I talk a lot about TikTok. TikTok is one of my main shticks, especially recently, and on the social media side. I've been working at TikTok for a really long time. Gosh, right before it really got big, around like 2020 is when a bunch of celebrities were getting on and stuff. And I was probably on it like maybe 6 months before that. And I was on Musical.ly, but I just couldn't catch on to Musical.ly. Like, it was really difficult. It wasn't user friendly. And like, obviously now I'm shooting myself thinking, why did I not do that? But hindsight is 2020. It doesn't really matter. I'm on it now. And currently I am pretty close to having about 700,000 followers. So I have learned some tips and tricks, to say the least. And it is a great app. And I talk about it all the time. And I don't know how many people here really believe me when I talk about how great TikTok is, but you really should, because at this point now, it is really easy for me to make over $1,000 a month on TikTok. And when you are a musician, you want a lot of avenues of revenue, because if one doesn't work, like for instance, very recently, I was playing a lot of shows, and what happened? COVID hit. And who would have thought that for 2 years, there'd basically be no live music? Who would have thought? And if that was my only source of income, I would have been screwed. So as a musician, you're always trying to balance out where's your income coming from. Because again, things happen. You break an arm, you break a leg, something happens that prevents you from going on tour or writing a song. Like maybe you have to there's a lot of people that had to get, vocal nodes removed and they couldn't speak for 6 months. Okay, well, how are you supposed to write a song or perform or anything like that when you can't speak for 6 months? How does that work? So as a musician, you really want to balance it out. You want to have a bunch of things in a bunch of different categories, so that if something falls out, you are totally covered. You don't need to stress. You don't need to worry about it. And this is also just a side bit I'm going to put. You also should have a savings. And if you're only hearing my voice right now, my eyes are huge right now looking into this camera. You need to have a savings, but we'll talk about that on another day. So with TikTok, there are a few things that you can do to make a lot of money on TikTok. The first is just the views. Obviously, TikTok pays its creators to be on there. They don't really pay that much, but probably right now, I might get, I'm trying to add up in my brain, how many views a month I get. I don't know, somewhere in the millions. I'm probably getting millions of views a month. And it usually comes out to $300 a month. And that's always increasing, because the more my following builds, the more views I'm getting, which means the more money I'm getting. So, but the last 3 months or so, I've consistently gotten $300 a month, which I'm $300 a month, you could do something with. That's a car payment. That's pretty good. So imagine if every month, just because you posted 1 to 3 videos a day, your car was paid off. Done. You don't even have to stress about your car. Boom, 1 payment done. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I know so many people have talked about this, but it's brand deals. If you have any kind of social media presence at all, you can do brand deals. And I'm talking about, you don't need to have 10K, you don't need to have 20K, you don't even have 1 million. You don't have to have that to do brand deals. All you have to do is find the right people that fit your platform. Every brand in the world is looking for marketing. And if you work with people, even if you gave them a freebie and you're like, this is what I could do and promote it for you guys, in the future, they would pay you or whatever. But a lot of times you can get them to pay you right off the bat, no problem. Imagine there are over 7 billion people on this planet. And you mean to tell me that you don't think you can find a brand that will work with an influencer that only has 2,000 followers? Come on. You totally can find them. You just have to put in the work to find them. Some people, once you get to a certain clout level, they'll find you. You don't need to stress about it. They're going to find you. you just check your email and boom, you got like 3 or 4 or maybe like 30 or however many for that month. And you email them back and you kind of negotiate back and forth. Sometimes, it works to work with them and sometimes it doesn't. And you just have to figure out with your time schedule and obviously what product are they wanting you to promote. Because there are a lot of products that, with my audience, I'm not trying to influence them in that way. Like it's not always about the money. Like for me, it's like a lot of my followers are 13 to 17-year-olds. I'm not trying to influence them to buy alcohol. Like that's, I'm not trying to do that on my page. Now, for some people, they don't care. They're like, how much are you paying me? Oh, like $10,000? Yeah, I'll do that. Like no big deal. But for me personally, that's just something like I'm not trying to do. So, with brands, you just got to make sure that it matches your branding on your profile and that everything lines up and all of that jazz. But when you negotiate, you just kind of want to be upfront and just say, hey, in the past, this is what I've done. This is what I charge. Here are my social media profiles of, X, Y, and Z. Like recently I had a company reach out to me and they wanted to do a video with me because of my YouTube following. And my YouTube following at that time only had like 2,000 subscribers. And so I'm thinking to myself, why are they wanting, like, they're going to pay me to do something on YouTube? That's crazy. First of all, that means you don't have to have that much of a following to be able to do brand deals, 1. But 2, I sent them my TikTok and I said, yo, I actually have 500,000 on TikTok. Why don't we do something on a bigger level? And we'll do something on TikTok. And then they ended up paying me a lot more because of my TikTok following instead. So it's all about negotiating and figuring out. Sometimes you can outprice yourself. And that's, again, that's just the way the game works. You just don't really know what people's budgets are sometimes. Even when you ask them, they still are like, well, can you just let us know? And what they don't realize is like, a lot of times I don't want to outprice you where you think that I'm not willing to meet you in the middle. And so I try to always in my emails say, hey, I'm willing to meet you in the middle if you have a specific budget you're stuck to or whatever. But sometimes they just don't always get back to you. They just think, well, if she says $500 and I'm saying my budget's $50, there's no way she's going to do it. But they have product. Maybe you send me more product. Maybe you pay me the $50 and for the next 3 months, send me X, Y, and Z or like, whatever. There's always a way to negotiate it out, but you just have to know that on their side, on the branding side, when you're trying to negotiate this, that sometimes you can outprice them. So you have to think in your head, what is my actual price and what is actually worth the time and money for me? So for instance, I've worked with a brand very recently. They only paid me $100 and I was like, $100 is like way below my rate now. Like way, way, way below my rate. But they were like, look, we know it's like really below your rate, but we'll give you all this product. And the product added up to like $1,000. And I was actually really interested in the product. I thought my fans would be really interested in it as well. It was like a hair product. And also like I'm always looking because of my hair. Like obviously you guys see, or maybe you can't see that I have this like streak in my hair. And so I'm always trying to find new product to keep my hair really hydrated because I naturally have more dry hair and then I'm bleaching my hair. So it's just a lot and a lot of damage can happen if I'm not on top of it. So I was really interested in the product. I thought people would think it's cool. I had a cool concept for like the brand video because of my hair. So there's a lot of elements that I was like, cool, I could probably make this video in like 30 minutes. Well, $100 in half an hour, that's not bad. That's pretty good. And then not to mention all the products. So again, you just have to put things into perspective. And also I think the other aspect is like, are you willing to lose the brand deal by possibly overpricing them? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So it's not necessarily about how much following you have. It's about in your current moment, are you really needing the money or not? And if you're not really needing the money because you've got tons of brand deals coming in and blah, 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 well, then cool. Then you can overprice and say, actually, I'm really swamped right now. And for this to be worth my time, it's $1,000. And that's fine. They can come back to you and say, oh, I'm sorry, that's way outside of our budget. We can't do it. And you're like, no worries. Maybe it'll work out next time. Cool. Or you could say, man, I ain't got a lot of deals going on right now. I'm going to tell them like $50. And, $50 is $50, and you could do it fast or do it slow or whatever. You could take a lot of time to make the video or not. But if you really need the money, that $50 can make the difference of, having groceries or whatever. So you have to also keep that in mind. But it's really important to do that. And, the way I was explaining it right now is people reaching out to you. The way that you figure out to reach out to them is going through LinkedIn. You got to go through LinkedIn. You got to find their media marketing person, and then find them and then contact them and email them. You don't want to go through Instagram and DM them, although that can work. I'm not saying that doesn't work, and I know a lot of people who do that. You don't really want to go to their website because their website's not going to give you access or the email to the right person that you need to contact. You're trying to get in contact with somebody on the marketing side of whatever company you're trying to work with. So, and the best way to do that is LinkedIn, because it'll say right in their profile, marketing agent at Nike, or, it'll say exactly what you're looking for. And so that's the best way to contact people. You don't really want to DM them. It just seems a little unprofessional. But again, I say that all being said, that I know tons of people that make killer money by just DMing the brands themselves. And some brands don't have, smaller brands don't have a big, large company with all these marketing people and whatever. So the only way to contact them is in hopes that they have an email on their Instagram page or DM them. So you just have to have some, understanding of and wisdom on when to do what. But with the bigger brands, anything from, Google to Bang to Liquid Death, you really just want to go on LinkedIn. Almost everybody has a LinkedIn thing. I know with musicians, we don't do a lot of LinkedIn stuff because we're musicians. We're not always on the business side, but that's where a lot of people network and do things. So I would definitely do LinkedIn. The third thing is there are websites that you can be a part of that are mediators between marketing companies and influencers. And what I mean by that is there are companies that marketing agencies will contact, and they will say, hey, we have a budget of $10,000 and we need influencers to use this sound or use this song or make a trend with this. And they need to have these hashtags in their posts and tag these people and whatever, right? Then the mediator people will be like, cool, we have all these influencers who have signed up on our website. We'll put the pitch out on our website and say, hey, here's the brief. Complete the brief, submit the link of you actually using the sound or whatever the brief has told you to do. And then however many views you get on that video, you get bonus money according to. So for instance, let's say you use a Post Malone song. Let's say Post Malone's team reached out to this mediator company and they were like, cool, we have a budget of $10,000. Here you go. They give $10,000. I see that the brief is up online and I go, oh, cool. This is really cool song. I can do a cool thing to this. Cool. So I use the sound on TikTok. I create a whole video that matches the description in the brief. I tag the people that need to be tagged, use the hashtags that need to be used. And then I submit it. I post it and then I submit the link to the website. As my video starts getting more views, let's say the first was if it hits 1,000 views, you get $20. Cool. Boom, it hits 1,000 views. Then it's if it hits 10,000 views, you get $50. Okay, so now I got 20 plus 50. That's $70. All from posting one video. And some of these videos take time, some of them don't. Then it goes sometimes all the way up to a million views. Not $1 million. Sorry, I just got everybody amped so fast. $1 million. 1 million views. So then 1 million views is you make $250. But everything between there from 1,000 to 1 million views has bonuses in between. So you can sometimes make close to $1,000 off of one video just because you started making, you know what I mean? Your videos started getting views. Now, when you don't have a lot of followers, you know, you're lucky to get 1,000 views. But if you make $20 off a video that took you 5 minutes to make, that's pretty good. Like $20 an hour is pretty epic. All just for making a TikTok that you were probably going to make. And a lot of times those videos, I post them late at night. So it doesn't really affect my algorithm and what people see because, you know, some people abroad, not in America, see my videos late at night, but they're mostly seeing my other videos that I posted throughout the day that end up on their For You page. With these videos, it's like the video has to be really good for it to do well. And if it's not, then it'll just get my general exposure of videos, which is usually anywhere from 10,000 to like 60,000 views. And that's me like not doing something crazy. That's just like normal, no videos have gone viral, like whatever. So again, if I'm already getting the bonuses of it hitting 50,000 views and I'm making an extra $200 for me just posting that video and it took me 5 minutes, that's a really great income. Just from one website alone of me doing that, this month I made $700. So again, $700 from that, $300 from just the TikTok views. I probably made another $500 to $1,000 off the brand deals this month. So just off TikTok alone, not including Instagram, not including anything, it's like, boom. That's like $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So again, as a musician, if you have that lane, that's great. But that lane is very finicky. It's not concrete because, you know, some months you have a lot of brand deals, some months you don't, which is why saving is really important. I know we said we wouldn't get to it, but now I feel like it's led me into it. You have got to have enough money in savings or somewhere. I know savings doesn't really create a lot of interest. So it's like, you know, if you put your money in savings right now with Chase or Bank of America or whatever, you know, your money's just sitting there. You're getting like a penny every month for your money sitting there. But, you know, there's different savings that you can use that give you a 5% return or a 10% return or whatever. You just need to have money somewhere that let's say if you were injured or something and you couldn't work for 3 to 6 months, you have enough money in your savings to cover all of your bills and all of your expenses. So budgeting is really important as a musician. You need to make sure like, what are all your expenses every month? Like how much do you spend on groceries, to rent, to car payments, to whatever. And if your budget's like $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month, whatever, you need to have at least 3 months of that saved back. So if your budget is $5,000 a month, you need to have $15,000 in savings just in case something bad happens. And I know for musicians, they're like, $15,000 is a lot of money. And it is. It's totally a lot of money. Like me, I've gotten my budget like really low. And I feel like I live a pretty good life. Like I am a foodie. I love going out to eat. But like I've been able to figure out where I can cut costs. And so I've gotten my budget down to like, honestly, on a good month, it's probably like $1,500. Like, and that's crazy. And that gives me opportunity to buy new gear and all these different things. But it also like I've put a bunch of money back just in case so that if something goes haywire, I'm also like not needing $15,000 just because I'm living lavish. So anyways, hopefully that helped. I know this video was like a little bit long, but again, you can easily make $1,000 on TikTok. It's not that difficult, or just on social media in general. You just have to be organized and focus in on how you're connecting with brands and how you're connecting with people. And every time you connect with them and somebody wants to work with you, you want to undersell and overdeliver, because then that makes them want to work with you again. So go out there, get some brand deals. And as always, we will see you next week. Peace.